Life presents us with challenges. Today, we begin exploring Joseph's journey from despair to triumph, highlighting resilience and faith. Joseph faced many hardships, including betrayal. His story shows us that even in the darkest times, we can hold on to hope. His faith in God guided him, reminding us to lean on our beliefs during trials. We learn that faith can anchor us. We can apply this lesson by trusting in God's plan, even when we cannot see the way forward. Perseverance is key. Joseph teaches us about resilience and integrity in adversity. How we respond shapes our character and future. As we delve into Joseph's story, let us reflect on how we can cultivate these virtues in our own lives for growth. Joseph, sitting in his prison cell, reflects on his dreams of greatness amidst his unjust punishment. He chooses to trust God. In the darkness of the cell, Joseph prays earnestly, seeking God's guidance. His faith is a beacon of hope. The chief jailer notices Joseph's resilience and begins to respect him more, seeing something unique in his spirit. Joseph shares stories with his fellow prisoners, inspiring them with hope and faith in God's plan for their lives. As days pass, Joseph's attitude influences others, and he becomes a source of encouragement in the bleak prison environment. One night, a troubled baker and cupbearer are thrown into the prison, and Joseph listens to their fears. Joseph assures them that God can provide understanding and hope even in darkness, reminding them of the power of dreams. The baker shares his troubling dream with Joseph, who promises to seek God's interpretation of it. As Joseph interprets the baker's dream, he emphasizes that God is still in control, even in their dire situations. Joseph reminds them that dreams hold meaning and can lead them back to hope, encouraging them to trust in God's plan. The baker, feeling hopeful for a brighter future, begins to believe that their circumstances can change. With faith rekindled, they all vow to trust God, knowing that even in prison, hope can flourish. Joseph's faith shines brightly as he encourages his fellow prisoners to trust in God's promises. The cupbearer shares his dreams, looking hopeful yet anxious about the interpretations. Joseph reassures him, relaying God's message about restoration in 3 days. In faith, the cupbearer believes Joseph's words and begins to smile once again. Next, Joseph turns to the baker, inquiring about his troubling dream. The baker narrates his dream, filled with dread about his fate. Joseph listens carefully, sensing the burden of the baker's situation. Joseph interprets the baker's dream, revealing a dire outcome. The baker, overwhelmed, stares in disbelief, grappling with the news. Joseph encourages both men to remember him when they return to their places. Days pass, and Joseph's interpretations unfold as prophesied. The cupbearer is freed, his heart filled with gratitude, yet he forgets Joseph. Joseph remains in prison, holding tightly to his faith amidst his trials. He reflects on God's promises, finding strength in difficult moments. Grief may linger, but hope remains anchored in trust in God. Days become weeks. The memory of his fellow prisoners grows faint, but his spirit remains strong, knowing that God's plan is still at work. Then, a new crisis arises in Pharaoh's court, stirring surprise. Pharaoh dreams troubling dreams, leaving his heart uneasy and restless. His advisors are perplexed, unable to discern any meaning from the dreams. Then, the cupbearer remembers Joseph and speaks of him to Pharaoh. Pharaoh, intrigued, orders Joseph to be brought forth from the prison. Joseph prepares to encounter destiny, a moment shaped by faith and experience. He steps into the light, trusting that God's purpose unfolds before him. As Joseph stands in the light, he senses Pharaoh's urgent need for help. The air is heavy with expectation. Pharaoh's voice trembles as he describes his dreams filled with strange symbols. Joseph listens intently, ready to assist. Joseph speaks gently, assuring Pharaoh that interpretations belong to God. He is ready to share with humility. With clarity, Joseph begins unraveling the mystery of the dreams, explaining the years of abundance and famine. Pharaoh is relieved but anxious, and Joseph advises him to prepare wisely for the coming hardships. Joseph's words flow like a refreshing river, instilling hope. He encourages Pharaoh not to fear but to plan. As Joseph speaks, Pharaoh's fear turns into determination. The room fills with a sense of purpose. Pharaoh declares Joseph his trusted advisor, publicly recognizing his wisdom and insight. Joseph graciously accepts the role, understanding the weight of responsibility. He is ready to serve. With the preparation underway, Joseph teaches the people the importance of unity and faith during tough times. Days turn into weeks, and plans are executed as Joseph leads them with wisdom, transforming the community. In the face of adversity, the people's trust in God and Joseph's leadership grows, and hope is reborn. Joseph stands before his brothers, recognizing them as they come seeking help. He feels a mix of emotions but remains composed. He asks them about their father, probing gently, testing their honesty and transformation since their betrayal. Realizing they have changed, Joseph reveals his identity with a compassionate heart. He forgives them for their past wrongs. He assures them that God's purpose exceeded their misdeeds. This is a moment of grace and reconciliation. Joseph instructs his brothers to return home for their families. He emphasizes unity, urging them not to dwell on the past. In their journey back, they reflect on God's provision and the miraculous turn of events that led to their reunion.